Hi, today I've got a pile of crushed aluminum cans in a plastic bag, and not just crushed aluminum cans, but also broken pieces of aluminum wire and various different broken pieces of aluminum. I'm about to melt them down and cast them into small ingots, like this one here, for future use. Yes, this is a woodworking channel. What am I doing talking about melting down aluminum? Well, woodworking is not always 100% wood. Sometimes you get to work with different materials like metal, sometimes you get to work with concrete, sometimes you get to work with plastic. So even though whether it's me or you that's doing woodworking, sometimes there arises a need to work along with different materials other than wood. So if you have at least a little bit of experience or you have done something with woodworking, you already know what I'm talking about. Now I have a project work that's going on right now, and I'll post the video after completion very soon. But in order to complete that project work, I need aluminum parts, which is the reason why I'm about to do this. So today's video is going to be about how I melt down scrap aluminum into useful ingots. But I'm not going to do that inside the workshop because I need fire and a furnace to melt this down. For that bit, I'm going to head outside and start the process. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Achanger, and you are welcome to my shop. Now I'm outside in the backyard. This is where I melt all my aluminum cans. I've got my manual air blower ready and fixed. And this is my furnace. It's nothing special, it's just a hole dug out underground and all around covered with a thin metal sheet and a top cover with the same material. Here I have my crucible and my plastic bag of aluminum cans. Here I have the fuel ready, some scrap wood from planing and cut off materials, also a little bit of charcoal there, and of course a pair of tongs. And here I have a pan filled with sand where I'll be casting the ingots. I'm starting the fire with the help of some shavings from a hand plane, which is thinner and far easier to start a fire with. After the fire has started, I'm going to dunk in all the rest of the fuel, starting with a little bit of charcoal, and then after that, the rest of the scrap wood. And now comes the part where I start cranking the air blower to start the fire properly. So as the fire starts, I'm gonna put in the crucible and start cranking away until the fire is lit properly. There's a lot of billowing smoke because I'm using wood as the primary fuel, which is cheaper. If I didn't want to have the smoke, I could have used coal or charcoal. When the furnace has reached critical temperature, I'm gonna start dunking in some of the more solid pieces of aluminum and let it melt first. Here I would like to point out a very important tip for you guys. Instead of filling up the crucible fully right at the start, it's always better and faster to have a little bit of molten aluminum first and then only dunk in the rest of your aluminum cans. As the aluminum is melting away, I'm preparing the sand for the casting using a piece of scrap wood to form the mold where I'll be pouring in the molten aluminum. Here in this video, in order to save time, I'm only going to show you casting 2 ingots, and the rest of the material I'll be casting it off camera. Both ingots are done, but I'll let them sit down for a while because it's still hot. After it has cooled down and the other ingots are done, I'll meet you back at the shop. So I'm back here at my workshop. All the melting and casting is over, and here are the ingots. These two are the first ingots that I showed you, and the rest of them are the ones that I did off camera. That plastic bag, which I had earlier, was about 2 kilograms, and after melting it down and casting it, I got roughly about 900 grams. That's barely 1 kilogram of usable aluminum from 2 kilograms of scrap aluminum cans. Well, having shown you how to melt scrap aluminum into useful materials, it's fair to say that how I do it is nothing different from how other people do. It's the same process. You need a furnace, you need a fuel. It could be coal, it could be charcoal, or as you've seen in my case, wood as the fuel. You just light it up and away with the melting and casting process. However, having done all this, I really wanted to talk about one very important point. For those of you who have been already doing this, this is nothing new. You already know how to do things. But for viewers that are new to this type of work, I really wanted to give an important point of view regarding doing this. The most important point is it's not profitable. If you want to try it out as an experiment, or maybe just for the experience, or even as a hobby, I'd say go ahead, try it out. There's nothing wrong in trying, and there's nothing wrong in learning something new. But if you are thinking about business potential, this is not profitable, I really wouldn't recommend it. Oh, it looks simple and easy. I can collect aluminum scrap cans and melt them down, turn them into ingots, and sell them for a certain price. I'd say it's not worth the effort, it's not worth the investment or the expenditures that you do just for getting a few grams of useful material. It's not going to be profitable at all. So I wouldn't recommend it for a business purpose. Just like you've seen in the video, there's a lot of investment involved. You need a furnace, you need an air blower. In my case, it was a manual air blower, but most people use electric air blower, which is also expensive. And the most important part is you need the fuel. In my case, you see me use charcoal and wood as fuel, which is very cheap, but it's a little bit dirty, all the smokes you have seen in the video. If you are going for actual coal, it's going to be very costly, and the price of the coal that you spent will not be recovered by selling these. Well, after all that said and done, I think it's fair enough for you to raise a question back at me, saying, if this is not profitable, why do it anyway? Well, my answer is, I have an ongoing project work that needs certain parts that need to be cast in aluminum, and those parts look something like this. I've got one here, and I've got another here, and here. So these are customized parts. All the measurements are custom measurements, and these are not available in the market. So even though I try searching for it, whether it be in the local markets or online, I'm never going to get these parts to buy. I'm never going to get it, not in a million years, no matter where I try. So I have no choice but to melt down and cast these parts by myself. If these parts were available in the market, I would definitely buy them, spend some extra few bucks, and do it the easy way instead of going through all the trouble of casting it on my own because it's not profitable. I have no choice. I want these parts made. That is why I have to cast it on my own. And that is the reason why I do this. Well, I hope you learned something new from today's video, at least some points regarding the advantages and disadvantages of melting your own aluminum ingots. If you want to try it out and experience that feeling of melting and casting, I think aluminum is the best material for beginners. Don't be scared, just go ahead, try it out, best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.